is complaining to the fact that they're not in some way compliant with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act?
Right. We call it COPPA for short here. This is basically a coalition of sort of consumer and children's privacy advocates who have spent the last year or two talking about sort of the effect of technology on children. Devices, alleged addiction, and privacy has been a huge one. Amazon now joins complaints that they have lodged against Facebook, against Google and its Play Store, and as well as people looking at YouTube, which is not something they've complained about yet. But all of these questions are about how do we deal with the intersection of kids dealing with devices and tech platforms and all those things.
Ben, interestingly, notably, Amazon doesn't seem to disclose whether third-party apps are using children's data as well. Is that something that you think they could easily tell the community and put people's minds at rest in that way?
Right. So this is really one of the problems with connected devices. You log onto Facebook and you sign up the first time and you click a box and you sort of allegedly read the privacy policy and there's a place that you can go back to read it. Some of these recourses are a lot harder to have with a connected device. You're not writing things, you're not clicking things. There aren't necessarily stable web pages in quite the same way where you can go back and have those disclosures and sort of show that you're really where people can go and actually at least find out sort of what is being collected. Now, of course, those privacy policies are notoriously vague, so you don't necessarily know. I think it's very difficult. Amazon isn't the only company that's having problems telling consumers what it's actually collecting on them. That stable web page is part of it, but Amazon has that problem too with its voices.
And as you said, this isn't the first tech company to have these sorts of complaints added to them, and as you say, it's happened for Google's YouTube or indeed Facebook. What do you think Amazon can expect? Are there going to be any repercussions? Are there going to be any changes to the law?
Absolutely. So the way COPPA works is that there can indeed be changes to the rule. There was an update 2 years ago to take on devices. Now, the question is whether they're going to be hit with fines. FTC gets a lot of complaints. Some of them are messages. This allowed a group of senators to send a letter sort of demanding an investigation that they tied back sort of to their privacy concerns, their desire to write privacy legislation. So not every complaint turns into fines or turns into other kinds of remedies. What I am watching here is the FTC has been signaling when it does rarely go out and say things publicly that they do really care about COPPA compliance and they are digging in. They recently issued a record fine. That was about $5 million, though, so it'd be pretty easy for Amazon to absorb.